coming up here. One of the books which seems with me. We have a photo of a pre-dynastic Egyptian potter sitting at a wheel. Makeshift, the classic hole in the ground, some kind of spindle, and then a big wheel top. He's sitting on the ground, and then his legs go, his knees are up here, down, and then all along the side of the wheel, these. And we're still doing it today. Amazing. Yes, what we do. So black bin liners are not ideal. Black bin liners are not ideal. Of course, they attract heat. Putting stuff in the shade. And where did that tea go? Aha. There we go. Roman burial vessels. So the theory was that they obviously found some in this area. There's loads of Romans around, and then they put the person's ashes in there. I'm hoping to get away with about 2. I'm hoping that I'll make my own and do about 2 of those. And then leather cap on top, so like the lid of a jar. So leather cap on top. And then when they buried them, as they went towards the place where it was going, they'd turn it at the last minute. So the theory was that the leather rotted over time, and then the ashes would just fall out. But obviously these are the ones that I've made and haven't been used yet. So this is Pits and Clay from 10 minutes up the road. So complete with all its lumps and bumps. We don't process it at all. We literally the brickworks and immediately make a pot. With its lovely flecks of iron coming out, and that lovely Celadon one there. They've been reduction fired at high temperatures. So we starve the kiln of oxygen. Whereas this, we're not trying to force anything at all. We basically more or less let it all happen. So wherever you see the browny colour of the clay, you know that lots of oxygen has got to it, and where it's black, you know it was protected. So when you're packing the pit, you can deliberately kind of try and get it to this little bit of manipulation there. There we go. So as I was saying earlier, normally we just start with a real little round lump of clay on there. But now we're moving on to my glasses. Oh yes, good. Good. I don't really need them. It's just borderline.
Voor zo'n gaat niet.
I mean, I do need them, but I can throw without them. We've done that. There's a bit of a jolly throwing with your eyes closed. And even more exciting, throwing with your feet.
Oh.
Yeah. Right, okay. So I was just explaining that we're using a cone-shaped piece of clay rather than the traditional round lump, because it's more clay and it gets us on the way. Have you done this throwing? No. Just need to know if there's any experts around. So it's important to get it in the middle. Just a bit off and give yourself a good start. If this was a really big lump of clay now, I would wouldn't be doing it anyway, but I'd be kind of like this, so really sure that it's on there. But we're going to just seal it on with a dry finger at the bottom. Normally I would do that with a, I don't normally use water, but it's been naughty. That's to stop the water getting underneath. We had someone earlier here who mentioned something about her pot was always slipping off or something. I said, well, that's because are you sealing it on before you start? And she'd never heard of doing that, so she's able to rush back now and keep her pots on the wheel. Right, now loads of water. So in the west we've got the water, so I always say why not use it. In the east they don't have much water, so they do that, and that's about it. And not too high with the cone, otherwise you can imagine what can happen as you come down. So I'm bringing it down carefully. We traditionally go fast for centering and opening up the clay, and then slower for the later stages. My right elbow is really anchored